Get ready for an explosive start to your day. We are diving straight into the drama surrounding Lewis Hamilton and his shifting position at Ferrari. We have exclusive insight into what the F1 legend himself has revealed about his future with the Scuderia and the intense dynamics brewing on the grid right now. And finally, we uncover the controversy. We break down the accusations against Ferrari for allegedly breaking the golden rule of engineering with those massive upgrades, and how this is impacting both Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. Don't miss the rest of the story. Stay locked in. Formula One legend Lewis Hamilton has publicly declared his position as Ferrari's #2 driver, partnering with Charles Leclerc, marking a significant shift in his role within the Scuderia. The move follows Hamilton's decision to leave Mercedes after 12 successful seasons to pursue his long-held ambition of driving for Ferrari. However, the transition has not been seamless. During the 2026 season, the dynamic between Hamilton and Leclerc has been scrutinized, particularly as the team progresses. While Hamilton currently sits fifth in the 2026 Drivers' Championship with 51 points, tied with Lando Norris, Leclerc maintains a stronger position in third with 59 points, despite a recent penalty impacting his Miami Grand Prix result. In qualifying duels, Leclerc has held a clear advantage over Hamilton, leading 3-1. Furthermore, Leclerc continues to face technical challenges related to his front wing and simulator as the season unfolds. Concerns about Hamilton's standing have been voiced by former F1 driver Nelson Piquet Jr., who suggested the Brit has transitioned into a supporting role at Ferrari. Piquet Jr. argued that the internal hierarchy at the team is already established, stating that Leclerc is the undisputed #1 driver, while Hamilton is positioned as #2, finishing behind him in approximately 80% of races. Piquet Jr. noted that the current top 3 contender consistently outperforms his champion teammate, suggesting Hamilton's decline is a natural conclusion to his extensive Formula One career. Scuderia Ferrari is undergoing a significant revision of its long-term Formula One driver plans following recent speculation, signaling an evolving strategy beyond the established presence of Lewis Hamilton. While Hamilton remains central to the immediate future, the team is actively re-evaluating potential successors amidst a dynamic F1 driver market. Previously, Oliver Bearman was considered the most natural internal candidate, leveraging his strong connection to the Ferrari Driver Academy and promising on-track performances. External options, including McLaren stars Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, were also on the shortlist, alongside the rising junior Rafael Camara. However, the landscape is being reshaped by growing uncertainty surrounding Max Verstappen's future at Red Bull. Speculation suggests that contractual flexibility could allow Verstappen to explore alternative options if performance targets are missed. A driver of Verstappen's caliber would instantly become a prime target for any constructor seeking championship success, prompting Ferrari to closely monitor this scenario. Simultaneously, Carlos Sainz has reportedly re-entered the conversation. Following his departure from Ferrari at the end of the 2024 season, his future remains open should the Williams project face difficulties. Consequently, some previously discussed names are fading from realistic contention. Oscar Piastri's prospects may become more closely linked to Red Bull's plans, while Lando Norris appears less attainable given McLaren's strategic focus. Rafael Camara's progression is expected to be more gradual, mirroring a development path similar to Bearman's. Regarding Lewis Hamilton, there is currently no indication of an imminent retirement. He remains contractually tied to Ferrari through at least the end of the 2027 season. The team's long-term planning hinges on performance metrics. If Hamilton struggles to consistently match Charles Leclerc, succession planning could accelerate. Alternatively, Hamilton might extend his career beyond Ferrari, a path reminiscent of Fernando Alonso's longevity. His stated ambition to race in an African Grand Prix could also influence the timing of any future decision. Guenther Steiner has signaled that Oliver Bearman is now prepared to step into a front-running role at Ferrari, positioning him as the likely successor to Lewis Hamilton should the seven-time F1 champion eventually retire. Steiner, who oversaw Bearman's early development as the Haas team principal, believes the 21-year-old has reached the point where he requires a car capable of challenging for podiums and victories. "I think Oliver now is ready to go to a team where he can win races or at least go to the podium," Steiner told Casino.org, adding that patience will be crucial given his youth. Bearman's rapid ascent has been evidenced by a strong start to the 2026 season with Haas, where he currently sits 8th in the Drivers' Championship with 17 points after 4 rounds. His performance trajectory has been impressive, including finishing 7th in his season debut in Melbourne and securing 5th place at the Chinese Grand Prix, showcasing mature racecraft against frontrunners. This form has solidified the paddock's view that Bearman possesses the necessary speed and composure for a top seat, underlined by marked improvement in consistency towards the end of his rookie campaign, where he scored 6 times across the final 10 rounds. Although Bearman remains contracted to both Ferrari and Haas, Steiner indicated that his contract likely includes provisions allowing him to transition to a leading team if an opportunity arises before a Ferrari seat becomes available. He will likely have some clauses in his contract with Ferrari that, should an offer come along for one of the leading teams, that he can leave Haas and go there, because that's his next move, Steiner explained. He stressed that while Bearman has proven the talent to compete at the front, Haas's current competitive level is limiting his potential. The timing of Bearman's potential promotion is intrinsically linked to Lewis Hamilton's future at the Scuderia. Hamilton is under a multi-year deal with Ferrari believed to extend through at least 2027, though the contract's end date remains unconfirmed. Hamilton has shown improved form in 2026, securing his first Ferrari podium with 3rd place in China. Steiner suggested that if Hamilton's tenure is uncertain, the move would benefit both drivers. It would be good for Ferrari because they have supported him for a long time, and they could have one of their own in their car, like with Charles Leclerc, Steiner noted, drawing a parallel between Bearman's path and Leclerc's development. Ferrari is facing criticism for allegedly violating a fundamental engineering principle by introducing numerous upgrades to the SF26, a move that has reportedly hampered the performance of both Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. Despite early optimism regarding the new engine regulations, the Scuderia has struggled to consistently deliver peak performance, securing podiums in only 3 of the 4 races so far this season. Former IndyCar driver James Hinchcliffe has voiced strong concerns, asserting that Ferrari's approach violates the #1 rule of engineering, making only one change at a time to isolate performance gains or losses. Hinchcliffe explained on the F1 Nation podcast that the introduction of 11 new upgrades to the car in Miami made it nearly impossible for engineers to pinpoint which components were effective and which were detrimental. He stated, "This is the #1 rule of engineering is make one change at a time, so you can isolate what's actually better and worse." He added that the lack of freedom in the Formula One environment, specifically limited testing and a single practice session, forces teams to bolt on multiple components simultaneously, complicating the analysis for both engineers and drivers. "You're bolting on 11 or 12 different components, and it really makes the job for the engineers difficult. It really makes the job for the drivers difficult to isolate what's helping, what's changing, what's hurting." Hinchcliffe conceded that while the team maximized the car's potential for the race, the complexity of the changes introduced challenges their overall execution. In contrast, McLaren has received praise for its upgrade strategy during the recent spring break. Hinchcliffe highlighted the strategic foresight demonstrated by team principal Andrea Stella. He suggested that Stella's team could have potentially delayed the introduction of certain parts to allow for more development time, emphasizing that extra days allow engineers to better isolate performance improvements. This incremental approach, Hinchcliffe noted, enables a clearer understanding of what is truly performing well, providing a more effective path to optimization.